The other tendency is an immense secularization of the West. And I know we've talked about secularization for a long time, but if you look at younger people, particularly millennials under 30, the overwhelming drive of popular culture is to absolutely secularize this rising generation. Now, that all converges with something that we have to face, and it's a very unpleasant topic, but we are in an outright war against jihadist Islamic fascism. And this war is I think, metastasizing almost far quicker than governments can handle it. If you look at what is happening in ISIS, which is the Islamic State of Syria and the Levant, that is now currently forming a caliphate, that is having a military drive on Baghdad. If you look at the sophistication of which they've taken the tools of capitalism, if you look at what they're doing with Twitter and Facebook and modern ways to fundraise and to use crowdsourcing to fund, it is, besides all the access to weapons, etc., over the last couple of days, they have had a radical program of taking kids and trying to turn them into bombers. They have driven 50,000 Christians out of a town near the Kurdish border. We have video we're going to be putting up later today on Breitbart where they took 50 hostages and threw them off a cliff in Iraq. And that war is expanding, and it's metastasizing to sub-Saharan Africa. We have Boko Haram and other groups that will eventually partner with ISIS in this global war. And it is unfortunately something we're going to have to face, and we're going to have to face very quickly. And so I think the discussion of, can we put a cap on wealth creation and distribution, it's something that should be at the heart of every Christian that is a capitalist, is what is the purpose I'm doing with this wealth? What is the purpose of what we're doing with this, with the ability that God has given us and divine providence has given us to actually be a creator of jobs and creator of wealth? I think it behooves all of us to really take a hard look and to make sure that we are reinvesting that back into positive things, but also to make sure that we understand that we're at the very beginning stages of a global conflict, and that if we do not bind together as partners with others in other countries, that this conflict is only going to metastasize. They have a Twitter account up today, ISIS does, about turning the United States into a river of blood if it comes in and tries to defend the city of Baghdad. And trust me, that is going to come to Europe. That is going to come to Central Europe. It's going to come to Western Europe, and it's going to come to the United Kingdom. And so I think that we are in a crisis, like I said, a crisis of capitalism and really the underpinnings of capitalism. And on top of that, we're now, I believe, at the beginning stages of a global war against Islamic fascism.